Tonight on Survivor with Jay, Jack, and Colleen, we're going to discuss and recap Season 41, Episode 5, Strategist or Loyalist. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Survivor with Jay, Jack, and Colleen. My name is Jay.
My name is Colleen.
And I'm Slow Motion Failure.
And welcome to the show. Yeah, that was a weird, the Ricard slow-mo shot where it didn't actually equal the win was a really weird choice.
Yeah, I go, wait, I thought he had knocked any down. I go, hey, he hadn't knocked any down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, it doesn't matter if he makes this or not.
I'm curious to see what, I don't know, what...
they're trying to mix things up this season.
They definitely are, and I like some of them, right? I like the flashback kind of thing they're doing with not showing you the reveals like they did with Nasir today. Really dug that, and they've been doing it a few times. So
didn't you call that last week? That happening? Somebody called that happening.
I did. I said, but mine was more around the dice roll, which we actually got clarification from a comment on our YouTube page. That's I'll pull it up in a second, but thoughts on this crazy episode of Survivor where they still haven't merged and may still not merge for a while. But Colleen, what's your initial thoughts here?
Great episode, very entertaining. We got strategery, we got alliances, new alliances. Mom and dad were fighting and it was okay in the end, but it was a little nerve-wracking. We got Shan's theme song was played again. I didn't bring attention to it. We even got the Dodo edit with poor Jeannie, who was like, yeah, no, I'm here to play. I know you guys would never betray me. And it was like, yeah, amazing. I don't know if Shan is gonna win because I think everyone sees how threatening she is.
Do they though?
Well, yeah, Jeannie and Ricard, sure.
But it's just Ricard now, and he seems to be in lockstep.
Is he though? I think Ricard knows that at some point he's going.
Yeah, of course.
I think he's keeping her around for a shield. Pretty
much.
Well, yeah, clearly.
But he's such a consigliere role to I feel like Ricard has a good point where he's come up with a lot of really good strategy, and then Shan is able to actually execute it. And so I think they are a really good dynamic duo.
Well, he's trying not to get his hands dirty.
Well, isn't that sort of
that's the winning argument at the end if Shan's not there anymore?
Well, if she's not there, but isn't that also what happened with JT and Steven, right? Steven was kind of the brains and JT was.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, the Shans win in that scenario, not the brains.
Not their cards.
And I'm not saying brains to negate Shan's gameplay. No, I think she's executed really, really well.
They're both really good players, but they're both snakes. So there's no way that alliance stays.
Oh no, they're going to be frenemies from here on out, I think.
I think the bickering they had, I think that opened the can.
I agree. I think that opened the can, and I think that Shan having an out with Liana, and even that comment, he's my number one, but if I go home, he can't be trusted, and there's nothing like hearing that,
I think she hurts her game though by all these things. Well, give me back the idol. Give me back this. Give me back. Yeah, it's just like.
Oh no, I don't think she hurts her. I think she hurts her game with Ricard because Ricard was in on it all the other times. If she had tried that play with Jeannie, or maybe even anybody else that wasn't the brains behind it the first time, and of course, Ricard was right. Why am I going to give this back to you? This, he basically played the way that JD should have played.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is what I guess makes it dangerous.
Yeah.
But can we just talk about Queen, Goddess,
before we do that, real quick, I did want to plus, like I promised before, plus in this comment that was put on the actual video post last week.
Okay.
and this is in regards to the dicing and what I said. So I've been doing the rounds tonight, posting about the rules of the shot in the dark die, and it's not a roll. If you decide you want to take the shot in the dark gamble, you go up to vote, drop your die into an urn, and then draw one of 6 pieces of paper, one of which says safe, 5 of which say unsafe from a container. You then return to your seat, and when Jeff does the prompt for people to play advantages or idols, you take the piece of paper you drew and read aloud. And if it says safe, you're safe. And if any votes cast against you don't count, otherwise you're still vulnerable, and all you achieved was to sacrifice your vote.
Should Jeannie have done that today?
Yes.
That's still confusing.
No, it just you drop your die.
Yeah.
And you pick you pick between 6 pieces of paper, right? It either says safe or screw you.
Yeah, pretty much. So
it's like jacks. You like throw it down and you pick it up.
Die. It doesn't matter what the die roll is. I believe it's
Gotcha.
paper you select has the safe or not safe.
But Jeannie should have. I was going, come on, Jeannie, because I said there's no way Shan or Ricard are going home.
But then again, I give that to Ricard and Shan's game plan here and making her feel like she had a chance. And it's definitely the
but she's been on the bottom the whole time.
I understand.
She doesn't even see. I mean,
she doesn't see it, and so they have left Jeannie feeling like this.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
And she feels like she has a shot, so she doesn't even play the thing. Which again, I give the fact that they're together, and if they can stay together, and I feel like the drama was played a little bit up on the episode, they can go a really far way because Shan and Ricard are a power duo, a force to be reckoned with. And
well, the problem is they're going to merge with no alliance.
That's perfect.
But that's perfect. I mean, how many times have we seen the random leftovers from the tribe that gets like demolished go on to win or go to the final 3?
It happens, but I think eventually they'll cut the throats of one of them.
But they're not going to be paying attention to them because
no, I'm saying Ricard and Shan eventually will
cut each other's throats.
Yeah, because they know the gameplay. I mean, it's just like they're both very strategic,
right.
and they're both very good at what they do. So one person's going to have to.
Oh yeah, one person has to cut the other one. But that's the thing. We're going to have to see how it shakes out next week. Whether because I guess they maybe merge.
I didn't watch the previews. I was running around.
Well, the previews
spoiler
kind of are
very vague.
They're kind of non-committal. So
what if they did this? Just took Shan, put her on one tribe, and took Ricard and put him on another tribe. That's what they should do.
It doesn't seem like that's what's going to happen. It sounds like there's a merge of some sort, but it's not a normal merge. Like there's some kind of twist to it. So I guess we'll see.
I guess we'll wait and see for next.
Since I truly hope that we get to the finale show, with the 5 or 6 people left, and both Shan and Ricard are still in it, because I am having a great time watching their partnership / now frenemyship.
They're compelling TV. They're playing the game really, really well. They're playing the game in a modern way that I really like, and adapting to all of these, like the stupid idol that everybody knows what the idol is.
Well, at least they put it in a place where
he has it.
At least they put it in a place where people could find it this week.
Right. Can we please talk about how awesome it was?
Hold on one second, if I could. I do want to acknowledge the chat and the people that are here with us right now. Live, Sherry's in the house as well as Ro. Elena is here, and Chris Doran as well. So thank you all the people that hang out with us live as we record these episodes.
If you want to join us, Jay posted in the Facebook group, and I have been tweeting the link on Twitter, which is Jay at Jay and Jack.
And normally I
retweet it from my Twitter.
You can also subscribe to our channel on YouTube.
Probably easier.
If you click that bell icon. So that's that. All right, now, Colleen, now you can go.
Let's talk about how amazing it was that Shan now has an extra vote and 1/3 of an immunity idol, and she didn't find either one. Like that's some masterful gameplay right there. Like,
well, I don't think it's 1/3. I think she has an idol now. It's not a shared idol.
Because what
Chet, what do you
good
think?
is what good is 1/3?
That's the whole point, because
No,
now
the
you
whole
have
point
it.
was
Now you need
you lose a vote and it's useless until they do the stupid thing they did today. Finally,
Well, yeah, but now they have to make sure that they protect those other two people.
no,
'Cause
they
if
don't.
they go out, then they lose
Hey,
the vote.
over here, here's that idol.
Yeah, no, I think that all 3 idols are active. I think that's how I interpret it. Otherwise, it's so dumb on so many levels. You're gonna make it.
Because what's her name? Because
How
what's
much
her?
dumber?
I forget her name, but she's going to take Xander's idol.
Liana.
Yeah, because she knows he has it, right?
Yeah.
She was.
Now that's a cool advantage. Knowledge is power.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
That's a pretty cool one.
which Shan gave her. So Shan has built these connections beyond just her tribe.
Yeah. It's it's funny. So we keep saying that, Shan and Ricard are gonna be like golden because nobody's gonna pay attention to them. And that's true, with the exception of that, like Deshaun and Danny are super aware of the fact that usually the biggest tribe left at the merge, the one that hasn't gone to tribal council yet, they end up turning on themselves. And they are it seems like they're very aware of the history of that happening. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not they truly go with their desire to get Erica out, or if they're like, we got to stay, what is it, blue strong, green strong? I know
blue.
it's not yellow.
They're blue.
They're blue. Okay.
Aren't they? Yeah, I think they're blue.
Yeah, blue. Nasir's team?
Nasir's team.
Yeah, it's blue.
How come Nasir didn't put 2 and 2 together that they were probably throwing the challenge the time before?
Maybe he did, but it wasn't compelling for the storyline.
It was only 2 people doing it, so I think it was subtle enough. Like if you're all in it and there's things going on, it's hard to probably. Okay. You don't have you only have 2 sets of eyes or 1 set of eyes. You don't have.
Deshaun suddenly became unathletic.
Also, again, dude retying knots in front of his tribe, and nobody notices.
I think that was still subtle. Personally, that's what I think. Sherry says Shan and Ricard would be at a huge disadvantage if that happened, Jack. One going to one team, one going to the other. They'd be voted out first if either team lost. I don't think that is what's going to happen. It's
here's the deal. Win some challenges, and you don't have just 2 people left.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, why are we rewarding the team that keeps losing?
Because they're down to 2 people. I
get that. I get that.
Riddle me this.
They're down to 2 people because they're incompetent.
Incompetent. Let's be honest. One team had professional football players and somebody who's a survivalist. That can like live in the jungle. Like
and one team has a mermaid,
and that same team has a mermaid,
mermaid,
which helps you in the swimming challenges.
I have to say, Debbie was never a mermaid. So
and that's I want them now because each week she says some outlandish thing about herself. They need to start putting, like when she said I'm a mermaid, they need to put, I can't remember her name. Is it Sydney mermaid?
Who's that girl? The one she was the lone person left. I think it was it was filmed in Mexico. I think Danny.
Oh, Stephanie? No, Danny.
No, Danny won it that season, but she was alone. Her tribe kept losing and losing and losing and losing.
Was her name Stephanie? That's one of the few scenes I've actually never seen.
It might have been, but she was all by herself, and she was at it. When they finally got to emerge, she was at disadvantage because there's nobody left.
Right. When they go in as a pair. But I don't know. I think Shan has the advantages that she has. It is Stephanie. Thank you, Chris. I think that Shan is really good at forging connections and molding people like putty in her hands.
But even Jeannie was able
to advantage and at a merge situation.
But even Jeannie figured that out.
Yeah, right.
She basically said it the thing that she's, and I think when they merge, I think Ricard is going to go looking for other people.
I don't think so. I think if they stick together, that's 2, and they have the extra vote, that's 3. And then all they need is a couple people that are on the outs, and the blue tribe has so many people that haven't been tested yet. That, you know, I think they're in a good position. So I know it seems like they aren't, but I think as long as, and clearly, and Chris agrees with Elena, it doesn't sound like a traditional merge based on Jeff Probst and Practical Joker.
What do we think that is?
What,
What's not a
new merge?
traditional merge? Like half of them go to the ship wheel wreck island and climb a tree, a mountain, and the other, and they have their merge feast there, and the other half.
What else?
Originally?
Normally, traditional moves merge. They pick buffs, right?
That's a swap.
Swap.
Yeah. But like a traditional merge, they all get the same color buff, and then they all get drunk, and then they fight over who they want to keep and who they scramble for sides.
Here's my question. They put it in the preview, which to me means that is actually probably not that big of a difference. Like they wouldn't announce the twist that early unless it was kind of a lame twist, I think. Right? Because if it was a really good twist, they would want to. If the preview would rather say it's a merge, but then leave like the actual twist for the show, right? Versus priming us that it's not going to be a traditional merge. And maybe it's, to your point, Colleen, like there's no feasts. You just have to merge now or something. And you pick the worst tribe's place to live.
Yeah.
To make it hard. Like that to me would be like the lame version of it's the merge, but drop the 1, carry the 4 times 2, square root of 7, the hypotenuse of 3.
Oh, hypotenuse. Digging deep there.
Survivor. But that's my take. But what do y'all think of this special merge?
I don't know, but spoiler alert, the at-home kids game was learning curve today. Now
learning spelled as a curve.
5 for 5 on that one.
What I love is, watching this show with Colleen. It's one of my joys of my life.
I watched it with Zach.
I was gonna ask if he stayed up for it.
Yeah.
And so Colleen, every time there's the kid game within a game, it's for the kids. Colleen's like, I figured it out. I got it. It's learning curve. I'm like, yes, it's for children. But congratulations.
Hey, the one last week was kind of hard. It took me a second because you had the red 4 or red E, so it was ready for, not E4, ready for. Like, you had to apply some. I don't know. I love those kinds of games.
It's like you have to apply smarts. You got to use your smarts and your head and your mind for these games. It's not so easy, Jeff. It's not so easy. 3 into 2 for this merge, or it might be years. But that's the thing is, like, then it's not a merge. To Jack's point, it's just a swap. So
it looked like they were all putting the same buff on. So I wonder if like they merge, but 3 people have to leave camp for the ship island.
3 people have to be quick at saying butterflies fly and
butterfly in the sky.
I don't know, dude. That was awesome, though. Come on, that was a good payoff. Where all of a sudden,
or the
Zero is like,
or the challenge. The challenge
is a goat on AstroTurf, and it was like, actually, this kind of works because like it's such an Nasir-ism, and nobody has said it before. That it was actually it was a good payoff.
Yeah, I don't want to be the actor critiquer in this, but he didn't quite land the line. But I know English is a second language.
Exactly, and that's I think made it even better. Where he was like, "I'm
better when he was
on how you say AfroTurf."
You said it better in practice. That's awesome.
What if the merge was? And I think they've done this before. Is they merge, do a challenge, and go straight to tribal.
Yeah, I think it'd be more a twist like that. Like I don't necessarily think the arrangements
because there's no time to talk. You do the challenge, and you go straight to tribal.
Well, in that case, it would be Erica because Danny and Deshaun, like that tribe has 6, and everybody else is going to be like, "Oh, not it."
Who's there?
Well, why would you vote Erica off?
Because they've been whining to get her off.
Yeah,
but she's no threat.
She's their RC, even though we haven't
tried with 2
why she's their RC.
No threat either for him.
Yeah.
What?
here's the
I
thing.
should know Sydney's their RC. Let's be honest.
If they futz with, because the merge episode's always one of the most fun, because that's when all the gameplay finally starts to happen. Like
maybe they go to Applebee's.
Or Outback.
No, Applebee's, my favorite restaurant.
I think they've used them all. But dude, if they gave me some bloomin' onions or bacon cheese fries in the middle of the desert, I mean, God bless anybody that had to be next to me after it was over, sleep next to me, but I would enjoy it.
As someone that has to sleep next to you regularly, it's in our contract. I should have my lawyer look over that beforehand. But yeah, I would loathe anyone that had to sleep next to you. Aussie cheese fries or a bloomin' onion.
For the first time when it had rice for like the previous
wouldn't it make you really thirsty though?
These Aussie fries are making me thirsty.
No, that would be the one thing, is it would be like, it would go against every single natural instinct in my body. But if we had a merge feast, I would not drink. I know, right? That's so funny. But like, honestly, I would be focused like eye on the prize. Like
I can't.
drink. You said it with the one that was blabbing everything.
You said it with a straight face. That's pretty good.
What I love is the earnestness in Colleen's voice.
Well, no, because I recognize that I would have to not drink at a merge feast because I would be the blabbermouth and it would literally be probably my game. So I would not be able to do that.
And having been with Colleen for 14 years, and I know how many times, like, you know what? I'm not gonna drink at this thing. It's not gonna happen. Don't worry about me. Hey, you want some wine? Woo! Party!
That's not entirely true. I feel like there's like a pre-Zach divide and a post-Zach divide. There's a sertraline divide and a post-sertraline divide that you're just not accounting for here.
Okay, all right. Hey, listen, I have always said I would enjoy you going on Survivor because I would have the house to myself for 38 days. No, I think you would be a great player.
I would be a terrible player.
You do good.
I did have a question. Why did it take Xander and
oh my God,
so long to fill up the water? They only had two things. I'm like going, what's taking so long?
They're chatting, but can we talk about how bad his lie was?
Yeah. Well, she was saying you need to bury it. Well, I'm just going to leave it in my bag. Trust everybody when I leave the area. Have you not watched Survivor before?
No, I honestly do think that it is. I don't like the going through the bag thing. Like, I feel like there is a line, and something like that is.
But I'm a pirate.
What?
I'm a pirate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Still, even then, like.
Elena's calling you out, Colleen. Like sending everyone home at 11:30 on a meetup weekend.
You know, Elena, if this was the broadcast, I would have a different response for you, but I'm just going to smile and nod.
Colleen's a pure extrovert. She is a capital E extrovert. There is not a scenario in which drink and be merry is presented to her in which she will not imbibe by.
I am half Greek and half Italian. So
I know. That's what it's in your genes. It
is like pretty much 50-50.
Like, sure you're not Irish?
There's 100% Southern Mediterranean there. You know what?
I'm mostly British and Irish with a little bit of Italian, so I keep all my emotions inside, and then I also have the Italian guilt, so I'm just a whole bunch of repressedness at all times. I'm
Swiss. I'm just neutral.
That's what you think. Carol Landers says, I just finished the episode, and
Carol Landers.
I'm sorry, Carol.
I figured out where
you were thinking North Carolina, and you said Carolinas.
No,
Carolinas. That should sound like me.
Shenanigans.
He's been at the merge feast. Forgive him. He doesn't know what he's saying right now.
I just finished the episode and I figured out where I have heard Shan's theme song before. It's driving me crazy. It's the opening notes to Mario Land of Oz. Yeah.
That's how.
And
the Mario Land of Oz. And that's just a big lie, right? So that's why she hums it.
But it is different though, because it's ha 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 oh ho ho and a couple of tra la la.
Yeah, but she's inspired by that. Totally.
It's very similar. It's very similar.
It's similar, but not
Court of law.
similar enough that they had to pay
In
royalties.
the court of law. No, I don't think they would. But the whole what's that inappropriate song from Alan Thicke and
It's got these blurred lines.
yeah,
I know
the
you
Marvin
want it.
Gaye song had, and I was like, oh, I don't think that counts, but they gave it to him anyway. As much as I love
No. They did very no. It's not like the Sam Smith song that sounded like the.
No, he used that was like using the same exact melody, the Sam Smith song as "Stay with Me,"
which
is the
I
same
call
melody is "Stand" or "Won't Back Down" from
Won't Back Down. That's it.
But they immediately recognized it and gave him a royalties.
Space.
Jack is falling asleep. He doesn't care about music royalties.
I do. I'm still trying to figure out how Ghostbusters was Huey Lewis song, "Power of Love."
It wasn't. And what's beautiful about that situation is they settled out of court, but they couldn't talk about it. And then Huey Lewis and the News did a behind the music on VH1 and talked about the Ghostbusters song. So then Ray Parker Jr. countersued Huey Lewis and the News. And yeah.
I like Huey Lewis and News.
So do I.
I saw them in concert. They're very good.
I like them both, clearly.
Yes.
What's your fan? But the fact that Ray Parker Jr. could write one song for a movie and live a life of luxury post making that song, good.
That is a dream right there.
Right?
That
Ernie
is a dream.
One of my favorite quotes from Ernie Hudson is he said, "I went to Ray Parker Jr.'s house. I wish I would have written the song instead of star in the movie."
Well, you've heard about the guy, the original MASH, movie was the theme song to "Suicide Is Painless."
Yeah.
Well, who's the director? I forget who it was, but he wanted some crazy song, so he told his 14-year-old son, "Hey, can you just come up with a song for this?" And he came up with "Suicide Is Painless." It was just supposed to be a joke. He's made millions off that song.
Well, I hope he paid for his kid's college with that.
No, he's the kid.
A millionaire.
Oh,
the kid is the
yeah, good for him. That's
awesome. I'm drawing a blank on the it's a famous director, but it's like, well,
you think like how much that's been syndicated over and
over.
Oh,
he gets a
So wait, are you saying that Shan needs to make sure she gets royalties every time these?
I think so. I think Shan gets credit for the song, and they are playing it on the thing.
I'm sure Shan's working on it right now, knowing her.
I listen.
I'm sure she is too, unless she's breathlessly, eagerly waiting to find out if she won $1 million. I'd want the royalties though, probably.
Exactly. I want that royal. I give listen. If anybody knows anything about Hollywood, it's not about that first paycheck. It's about that residual paycheck.
Yes, right? Chris Dorn knows everything. Robert Altman, yes. His son was 14 when he wrote that.
Damn,
that's impressive.
Right. Back to the game. All right.
Oh, sure. When I come up with one, we have to go back to the game.
No, Jack, I loved it. You didn't offer Colleen some wine that she says, "I'm not going to drink today. This is the merge feast. No drinks."
Colleen, why aren't you drinking? Oh, she's not drinking because she's got secrets.
She doesn't want to spill the secrets.
So let's vote her out.
Exactly. See? You can't do it, Colleen.
Can't do it. You got to drink.
Yep.
Just can't be what's his name? Who was that guy that won the fourth one? And he got drunk and he started saying how he had a Corvette stuff, and he almost lost it because of it. He was the porn star.
There's a porn star winner?
Well, he was like a soft porn guy. And Glenn, no, what was his name? It was like the third or fourth one. It was the one where the woman cried about the chicken and she buried the bones of the chicken.
Are you talking about Survivor?
I'm talking about Survivor.
You mean
Brian? Thanks.
Yes, Brian. I said hi something.
Yeah, I was about ready to ask Chris. Okay, Chris, who is it? It's Brian. Yes.
Okay. Well, I thought you were talking about somebody that got voted off fourth. That I was like,
no. He got drunk and he starts talking about his life and all this stuff.
Right? Because didn't he have like dogs that were like, yeah.
And then there was they had they got videos sent to him. And his wife was showing his house and all this stuff. And people were like, why are we going to give this guy $1 million?
Mm-hmm.
So it almost killed him. But
right.
But he won.
Yeah,
But there was some lady that was a bird or a chicken that they ate that she buried the bones and was crying.
Anyway, can we go ahead?
Yes. Okay. I don't remember.
That comes from drinking.
Ha 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 ha. All right. Anyway, yeah. So Xander is a terrible liar. That was awful.
Brutal.
That was like painful, awful. I like Xander and I don't like Tiffany and all the faces that she makes, even though I'm well aware that I'd probably make those faces. However,
she's trying to do the Jim Halpert, but it is not working.
No,
it's not working. It's
not at all.
So bad. So bad.
But okay, yeah. So anyway, yeah, I don't even know what he was doing. It was awful.
I just found it.
Yeah, I was like, why would you say that? Like, I don't.
Everybody, even when like everyone knows that you've talked about butterflies and dead relatives,
that's like you should have known that you've made that weird comment.
Plus, half the tribe before they knew it anyway, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
Much lame.
But he goes. All of a sudden, he goes to Tiffany. I trust you. And plus, she knows she teaches kids.
Yeah, she's like she teaches dishonest kids.
She's forgiving because this is Survivor and we forgive people.
Right. Hey, spoiler alert, Xander. It's a game for $1 million and she's a mom. She knows when you're BSing her.
It's outwit, outplay, and forgive, right?
That's exactly.
I'm pretty sure that's
Today is forgive.
Hey, how about Jeff Probst realizing that the night scenes and the night shots were not giving him the best look, and he went to a daytime shot?
Oh my God, yes! After that whole scene, Probst had like this play the game or whatever it was, and he had this daytime filter on his face. Like his hair looked great, the gray was blended in like super nice, like it's what you hope for, right? Like in post-COVID grayness. But like the filters on his face, I was like, I gotta get me that. Like that's like the Instagram filters that they've had lately, where you can talk and like you just look perfect. Like Jeff just did that
about like looking our best. So if you notice, Jack and I look at how nicely evenly proportioned we are in the shot.
Actually, yeah, you guys do look filtered.
Not even filtered. I'm just saying. Look at we are even within the.
I don't. I got like lines. I got all pimples.
No, it's not about your lines. Look at how short.
I got paint all over me.
I've been awake for almost 24 hours, so I've got like.
Look at how Jack and I are centered in the frame of the picture. You see us here. Colleen, you look like you're a little kid in like a seat that's too big for her. You need to.
And whose fault is that? You gave me this seat.
I did.
You can come to the big person's table.
Yeah, it's like you're in the little. It's like I'm a part of the podcast.
I'm in a turtleneck. I'm chillaxing. I got my best 10 p.m. vibes going on.
It's a professor.
Okay, focus, people. We are here talking about Survivor.
Yeah, I didn't get Xander's whole lying thing, and Tiffany. I don't know.
I know she. I think Tiffany's going far. Like, I think she might be like final 6 far. But gosh, they don't do her any favors with the edit. Like once in a while, you're like, oh yeah, Tiffany's got a point here or whatever. Like with the lying thing. But whatever.
Well, that's how you know she's not winning. And
right.
And to hear you say that she's going to go far, this is my reaction.
Well, I think maybe is she hamming it up? I
think she's
hamming it up. Like Long Islanders, their steady state, like their static state is to ham it up. There is no subtle.
That's because there's nothing to do on Long Island except ham it up or become a cop or a teacher or an accountant.
Like every show I watch now, when they talk about Long Island, it's never a compliment.
Oh, did you make it to the Only Murders in the Building Long Island episode?
Yes. So I'm up to. Well, I won't spoil anybody.
What did you say? What episode you're up to? You sound, what number?
I don't know the name of the episode. There's a. I can't say it. Okay. I can't figure out how to say it without spoiling someone.
That's okay. Then we won't. We're gonna go watch the finale after we're done here.
The silent episode.
Oh, the silent episode. That's so unique and different for
it was.
Yeah.
Jack, my question for you as a longtime Steve Martin fan and Martin Short fan, what are your thoughts on the series just from like being a fan of those people?
I like it. I like it a lot. I mean,
it's like a good show, right? But they're
Yeah.
also still funny. Like there's just some really
Yeah, I mean, when Martin Short is leaning and he falls out of the chair, it's just hilarious. I mean, it's just but I'll save it for after the show.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Survivor with Jay, Jack, and Colleen after show. Anyway.
All right. So after the immunity challenge, in which Yasa wins, Blue, who I can never remember, comes in second, and then Uwa Green loses. Womp womp womp. They have to go back to the oh, by the way, before we get Liana and Shan have to go to Shipwheel Island. But how the faces of the women on the Yellow Tribe, the Yasa tribe, when Nasir completes it, and they're like, SHIT. Oh my God, he now has the idol. He's not like neutral after all. That was kind of awesome.
I
don't think they stole his vote. They just know that he's like, Shan is playing on a whole other level than everybody else.
Yes.
Like Liana and what's her name? Evie and Tiffany. Like I think that their idea of stealing a vote is actually literally taking the piece of paper and being like, "It's mine now." Like,
well, they take the flint and just burn it.
Right.
But I think Ricard made a great point. We've had to play the game.
Exactly.
We've had to play the game. I mean, that is, that's a big deal.
They haven't had to go to tribal once.
Yeah. I mean, when you don't have to go to tribal, again,
that's the green.
Yeah,
the blue team hasn't had to go.
No, you don't make
Yellows
enemies.
Had to go, but then they had to play the game, and then they came baby turtles and flew into the sea.
Yeah, I mean they lost the first two, but then it's the green team has just been just losing.
Yeah. It's a double-edged sword. I think you don't want to keep losing because you have a greater risk of being sent home. But for those that survive, the ones that are left over, they're battle tested, and for the other tribes that they're going to merge into are not, and that's an advantage.
And with Ricard and Shan, at least they've been on the same page. It's not one of those things where you merge and I mean, how many times have you seen where two people are left but they don't really trust each other? So at least they're on the same page for now.
Exactly.
But I don't think they trust each other after.
No, well, of course you don't, right? But I think they're both smart enough players to realize there's a certain level of trust where I trust you, but understanding that. And that's what I love about Shan in this moment. She wasn't like she went off. She's like, I know, but I still trust Ricard, so I'm still good. Like that's the thing, that mistake that gets made. But she's like, of course they're going to talk about voting me out. It would be stupid for them not to do that. Yeah. And so that's what I did appreciate about all three of them. They were honest and just say like, of course, like I'm gone. It's just the two of them. It would only make sense for them to make their pitches on how to get rid of me. And then once I came back, we then all made our pitches to each other on why we should keep each other.
I think they would have loved to have gone into the merge with Jeannie with them. Obviously.
Yeah, but it didn't work out that way.
Because I think she was pretty loyal. Obviously, she didn't play or die. I mean, it was her only. Like I said,
if she played I knew for them.
Huh?
If she played the die, it possibly could have been Ricard or Shan.
Well, I know, but her only chance was. I mean, I knew she was gone.
Colleen didn't think so. She thought Ricard was
gone. I
wasn't buying it.
Shan cut JD last week, and JD was like a loyal little puppy dog.
Yeah, but Ricard and Shan have been twit.
They're completely different players. JD is not in their class.
No,
a player.
That's very true. Like
I think
you're right. Like in the class of Survivor player, they are like valedictorian and salutatorian of the Survivor 41 season. Like,
nerd reference. I don't get that, nerd.
I was in the top 2% of my class. Okay, I graduated. I think it was number 9 or 11.
Listen, you weren't number 1.
I did not want to be number 1, but no, I was not number 1.
Who doesn't want to be number one?
And
So you don't want
Somebody that has anxiety and can't handle the pressure.
So you're on the side. You're on the sideline. I'm number 9 instead of going number 1.
no, you don't. Do you not know Colleen's anxiety? Like going for that, like it would literally crush her soul. It's not worth it.
Okay, all right. So you got a foam finger that instead of a 1, it's got 9 fingers.
I graduated in a class of 721 people. I'm okay with being 9.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying.
Jack,
I
what are you
used to
saying?
be
Like,
smart. Before the internet came around and rotted my brain, I used to be smart.
I don't think any of your kids end in the top 100. I know I didn't.
Well, I wasn't even the top 1,000. You had to show up for class to.
Colleen was featured in books because, again, there's nothing to do on Long Island, and there's books of like the top students or something that your parents bought. It's really cool.
It's the National Honor Society or whatever thing. My name is in it. It is in it. Yes, that is true.
It's so cool. We show our kids all the time. It's great.
No, we don't.
Like look at your mother. She was on this thing.
Yeah.
It just goes to show you that high school is a bunch of BS. All right, moving on.
And I did not graduate. I only graduated summa cum laude, not magna cum laude, where the highest one is, because my grandma's brother died in the middle on a Monday, and I had to go home for the funeral, and I missed the next 4 days of classes, and one of my teachers actually deducted my grade and gave me a B, so I, by technicality, could not graduate that. I was very upset, and I still am. And whenever I see that man on Facebook, I give him a big F-U and finger, because it still makes me angry. Because there should be decency and compassion thrown into things, and the opportunity to make up a lost day for a death in the family.
Yeah, you don't hold that with you. You don't tell me that one all the time. All right, player of the game. Who gets player of the game? Is it Shan again?
Yes.
I'm going to go with Ricard because he made the great point about the.
That's true.
I think Ricard doesn't get enough credit.
Okay, I agree. I think he made some good plays today. I think Shan's still player of the game because she made those connections with.
And plus, he has the best look, the best cold look. I mean, he'd be great at poker. You see him look, he goes. He doesn't blink. He doesn't show any emotion. He's just like. Where Shan shows a bit of emotion. You can see she wears her.
She shows emotion in like kind of a manipulative way, right? Like
she does, but
just enough to make people feel for her and then trust her. Whereas Ricard is like, that dad that you're like, damn, he's not gonna let me get away with like
Ricard. If he was listening to your story you just told about your grade and stuff, he'd been like this.
I know, he would have been like, well,
doesn't count.
Rules are rules. You should have said you're dead. You're not going to know that I'm not at your funeral.
He goes, I make the decisions. She closes it.
But I love that. I freaking love it. I love it. She's the closer. I set it up,
and he's honest about it.
Yeah.
You usually don't hear that where they both are like it's a shame. As of now, it's a shame they both can't win it.
It is a shame.
Chance to win because she is the one closing it, right? I feel like she's the one that deserves the most credit.
But
because she's putting herself out there to actually execute the play.
Exactly.
But I like the way Ricard's playing because that's a safer way to play.
It is, and
but the risk is in the win. Like you win when you take the risk of like not being safe. Like you could go the dangerous route and then still become victorious each time and win. Then you deserve the win.
Ricard's way to win. Ricard's way to win is he has to kick her out at the right point to where he's the last one standing.
Right.
If he's there at the end with Shan, he failed his gameplay because he is the kind of behind the scenes setting up a lot of pieces, letting Shan close it. But he has to get her out before the end so that he can say, I was the brains of the operation.
Yeah, because no one cares about when you say, well, if you're there with the person you were making the moves with, yeah, I was the one making all the moves. Exactly. She just closed it. Everyone's like going to go, well, I don't remember talking to you. You didn't talk to me. You didn't, because you hear that all the time. You never struck up a conversation with me. You never talked strategy with me. Like you said, I agree with you, Jay. He has at one point he's going to have to go. If he's to win it, he had because she can take him all the way to the final three, and she still wins.
Exactly.
Well, isn't that last season what Tony did with Jeremy, where at some point he was like, I got to cut you loose because these are my plays, and I'm Tony, and I need to. This is my moment to take control. But the stars have to align. So
absolutely. There's a bit of luck. There's a bit of timing. There's things there's things that are out of their control. 100%. But I like Jack's pick here of Ricard to play the game. Colleen, you're Shan.
I think Shan's the player. I mean, she got the connections with Liana, so she basically has those 3 women on her side on that tribe.
Yeah.
But Ricard was the one
that a super advantage.
Ricard was the one that said we'll put a fake idol in the.
Yeah, he made that play. I thought
that was
brilliant.
Too.
Yeah, I mean, I never even thought about. I said that's a great move.
And then to get Jeannie to go along with Shan calling it out, and Jeannie being none the wiser.
Yeah, we just want to see if it's out there. And to me, I go, that's actually believable.
Perfect.
And this is where I say for both of you, Colleen and Jack, I think you're both right. I'm going to go with Shan because I think to Colleen's point, she had the moment with, what's her name again?
Liana.
That was like an additional thing, but I think you're right, Jack. Ricard wasn't being braggadocious or hyperbolic in saying he is very much a part of the strategy and setting up the pieces to allow Shan to close it. You saw it in this episode in terms of what he did. So I think both have a play to say their player of the game. But let's move on to GOAT of the game, lowercase GOAT. Who's the person that had the least impact, so much so that you just drag them to the end because they can't win? Colleen, who's your lowercase GOAT of the game?
Ooh, that's tough because I would say Jeannie just because of, how many times she got the dodo music.
Yeah.
But clearly, nobody else thought that. Gosh, who do I drag to the end? I kind of want to say
just on today's episode, who would you be the one to be like?
Xander.
Xander,
because he's a dummy.
It was not great.
I really like Xander, but he's a dummy.
but he did win the challenge though.
He did.
And Tiffany, because she's also a dummy. She's the worst kind of dummy. She's a dummy that thinks she's not a dummy.
Here's the thing. GOAT is not worst player of the game. It's the player that's so inconsequential you would bring them to the end because they wouldn't win, right?
Then Tiffany.
That's right.
Then Tiffany.
Okay. Jack, who's your GOAT of the game?
I say the mermaid. Because really, only time we see her is when she's talking about herself, right?
Yeah, it's true.
That's such a great point. The only time we see her is when she's talking about herself.
I mean, it's just like, okay, we got to put her in here. She's she's out there killing guppies. I got 9 of them. We eat today.
Size of a quarter.
I mean, she was, at least she was out there getting food.
That's
and stuff.
true.
But it's like, okay, how much protein's going to be in that?
It's a shame she has no self-confidence.
No.
Yeah, total shame. And to that point, like with the guppies or whatever, like kudos on Nasir for being like, bros, I lived without flint and fire. It is not, you don't want that. Like there's no amount of throwing a challenge that is better than not having flint.
And that's a great point because that one thing I do like this season, if you lose, there's more than just going to tribal. You lose your flint.
Yeah.
So I do like that rule. I mean, there's a lot of rules I think they've screwed up the game a little bit, but
yeah,
I agree.
But we'll see. Hopefully they learn from
I was
it.
What?
No, I think they've screwed up the game with all these stupid twists and turns. And
I will say the advantages are getting kind of tough to keep track of. But I am very intrigued about how just unfair and one-sided this knowledge is power idol is.
But I would rather see people like Ricard and Shan strategize and play the game than see all these different the producers trying to twist the game.
And I think
because what they did is they said, okay, this idol is going to be useless, and let's we throw it in front of somebody and say, hey, here's the damn idol, because one tribe wasn't even looking for it.
But I think that's the reason I like this episode so much is so we have these advantages in play, and it was kind of cool to see the strategy from Ricard and Shan on how they were actually going to deal with all these different idols. And I think that that was actually kind of cool. Like, like, okay, should we pretend to do this, or should we tell her that we're going to do this? And it was cool. And I wonder if I'm sure they've done it they've planned to do this in other seasons, but it's just failed so miserably that it wasn't actually presented to us in that way. But I really enjoyed seeing like how they kind of made that sausage to get to how they were going to address all those different
and this is something we didn't talk about. If you're a genie, do you even tell them you found it?
Right? I wouldn't have, but
no,
I'm not genie.
Yeah, I mean you're clearly on the bottom.
Let me go in because now we're going to go into listener feedback, and first is going to be Sherry's here, which is a comment live on our show. What do you guys think about the fact that someone could steal someone else's idol and or advantage?
Well, it could be risky if you steal if someone has an alliance and you screw up that alliance by stealing their idol, they're going to be pissed at you.
But you made this season an idol that everyone knows that you have. So to then also include an advantage where you can steal an idol.
I mean, what are they? They said they can't lie. Are they going around saying? Are they waiting for her to ask? You can't lie.
Landon knows.
Or does Jeff come in and say
Xander has it?
Xander, you have to tell the truth.
No, I think that's what it is. Is somebody asks a question and then Jeff or the producer is like, now you have to tell the truth, and they know who has it, so like that person can't exactly lie.
But it's
hiding. They found it from the production members.
But you're playing a game with no rules, right?
There are rules,
but
there's rules.
But the rules could be you're supposed to be able to use the rules to your advantage, right? Is there a way that you could lie your way out of it? There should be a way to.
But when the text of the thing says they can't lie.
Can I before I get asked the question, I give the idol to someone else.
But how do you know you're getting asked the question? They don't even know this thing exists.
I know. Well, she'll probably tell
us. But why would you even give your idol to someone else when you just pretend, hide the fact that you have it so nobody knows. Like, this works directly in her favor. You know what? This advantage this advantage was created solely because every single person knows who the three people are that have to say the dumb phrases. So now they have a chance to potato it and be like, do you have this? Like,
how Colleen's trying to like come on our side.
Yeah, I know. It's just like,
see how that is?
I saw that.
No, I'm just saying, like, I wonder if the fact that it's so obvious, the three people that have the idol.
Here's my problem.
Because it's so obvious, they created this, knowledge is power advantage. And if you have it, then you can basically hot potato it from somebody else.
Well, here's my problem with this thing. You develop this crappy idol, right? That everybody knows you have. You have to say this stupid phrase or this funny phrase, however you want to point it. But this phrase you got to put at every time. And now, I can lose it after not having a vote, not having this, and now you're going to take my idol away from me.
Yeah.
That's the producers having too much power. Now, if they had where an idol where, someone they actually had to figure out who had the idol. I would have loved that a lot more. But since they're just saying, okay, we know Xander has the idol, you have to steal an idol, you can take his idol from him.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the point? Again, it's to me the show. I mean, I don't know.
You think that they are making things complicated they're adding extra life cards for the sake of adding.
They're throwing stuff at a wall and seeing what sticks. And instead of going back to what made the game popular was the people playing the game. They put so many twists and turns into it. It's like
Survivor to me this season feels more like a board game where what's the stupid Fireball Island or Jumanji, where you have to do a different thing each turn in order to keep surviving, and it gets very confusing. That is what Survivor this season feels like to me, where you're constantly rolling the die, you have the timer set, and you have to do this thing. And
what are the ratings like? Because I would guess they're down.
I have no idea what the ratings are like.
And I could be wrong.
But I know Twitter is really liking this season this week. This week they liked it. Because it was a really good episode tonight. Like,
no, it was a good episode, but to me, it's like, okay, like I said, if I was Xander, I'd just be pissed. I'm gonna lose It's like it's bullshit.
Right, it does feel very like
sorry,
throwing
bull
a
crap.
steal an idol in feels like they're basically like, you know, the tooth fairy taking it out from under your pillow, but you didn't actually give it to her.
They don't like people with big nipples or
This is from TV Line. In the latest TV show ratings, CBS's Survivor and Fox's Masked Singer tied for the Wednesday demo win, while NBC's Chicago Fire delivered the night's largest audience. Survivor returned to 6 million viewers and a 1.0 demo rating.
That's it.
And a TV Line reader grade of B-, off only a little bit from its fall 2019 averages.
So it's down.
A smidge, but it's still winning. It's
only 6 million.
Yeah, but that's
I don't watch TV anymore.
Like, yeah, nobody watches TV anymore live. Or
like Masked Singer only had 4.4, and that's a hit show.
Okay.
But since its target demo audience has 1 million and also had 1 million, that's the advertisers what they want to hit. So it's not so much about like Goldberg's has 3.4 million.
I can't believe that show's still on.
The Connors have 3.4 million. Home Economics 2.2. So
I don't even know.
That's still they pretty much beside just a little bit under NBC Chicago. Like, what is TV anymore? Like Survivor's the only TV show I watch. So
yeah, that's it. I mean, I don't watch any. I do watch Magnum PI a little, but I'm so far behind on that.
Anyway,
to me, it's just like
I agree with you, Jack, 100%. Colleen, any other feedback? Did Maggie send anything in?
No, Mandy did not send anything.
Mandy,
in.
sorry, I thought I said. Yeah. Okay.
Neither did Aunt Tammy,
which is fine.
Well, that's okay.
All right, so now it is time to tally the votes. Let's see our preseason picks for Jeannie. Let's see what we said.
Jeannie,
before the episodes our season started. I said pre-merge. Colleen said pre-merge, so we get a point. Jack, you said merge.
Oh man!
Wow, that hurts. Ouch.
So close too, because she was right there.
Yeah, I know. Play or die, Jeannie. Play or die.
Close is only good in horseshoes and grenades. Anyways,
you make it bigger. I can't see. I know that the people listening right now don't care if I can see.
Jay,
there we go. Jay just made it like 300%.
You say that to Jay all the time, don't you?
Yes. But usually because I have my glasses off.
Okay.
Colleen is literally blind.
I can't see very much now.
Yeah.
There's a reason she is attracted to me. It's because she can't see me.
No, I keep my contacts in during the day.
During the day.
I do very handsome.
You're at work.
Come on, he's a handsome stud. Everybody out there agrees with me.
Anyways, all right. Who we said was going home. I said Erica. Nope. Jack said Xander. Nope. Colleen said Sydney. Nope.
We all had the very wrong tribe that went to try looking outside.
There's no way they go again.
Listen, if we had the right tribe, we all would have picked Jeannie and we all would have gotten a point.
Yeah.
So the current tallies.
There's an Arrested Development joke in there somewhere. It's always glasses off, hair up. Spoiler alert. Lights off.
Hair down, glasses on. Yep. All right. Who's going home for week 6?
Week 6.
Don't ever do that again. All right. Jack is the first.
I'll say Xander. I don't know how you still in the game.
Colleen.
I'm gonna say Erica.
Man, why are you stealing my pick?
Because I think we've been set up so
I'm gonna
much.
steal your pick. Sydney, gone. Mermaid, gone.
You know, we can only hope that her voice did not come back and she did not kiss her one true love by the end of the sunset on the except in her case. Well, no, I won't do that. That's really mean. But just know I was going to.
So tally total, I have 4. Jack has 2. Colleen, actually, I'm sorry, that's 5 tallies. What am I doing? You are to the V. Victory.
Victory, victora.
Winner picks, Jack. You still have Evie, which is your second pick.
There you go.
5 points. Colleen still has Ricard, but my pick, I've been a Shan stan since day one.
You're kind of like a Jan.
Don't ever call me a Jan.
Marsha.
Anyway, all right. I think that'll do it. Colleen, there's a lot of people we can thank for this show existing. Many, including the ones that are in the chat with us tonight, like Chris, Elena, Sherry,
Carol.
Ren, Carol.
Carolina.
Sweet Carol. Oh, they lost.
Landers.
Anyway,
Just don't try. It's okay.
Who lost today?
Bo Sox lost.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Braves are up, but Pollock scored 2 runs. I freaking hate Pollock.
Is it 4-2?
It's 5-2.
5-2.
This is gonna hold up so well tomorrow morning.
So the Dodgers have them right where they want them.
Anyway,
As Sharon points out, Shan seems to have the winner's edit.
listen.
He does, but like, can somebody fly that close to the sun so early on and fly so high and maintain it? Like, that's hard.
She is playing the chef's kiss game.
I mean, if nothing else, Shan is going to be like a 3-time Survivor player. Can we all-
Yeah, she's amazing.
There's no chance that the
amazing.
Mafia pastor doesn't come back.
Absolutely.
She's fantastic. I
story.
want to be friends with her in real life.
Her mother was an addict. She became an addict, and then she got.
She wasn't
clean.
an addict. She got in with the wrong crowd.
She's in with a
got into
gang.
drug usage as well. She was in a gang and got into drug use.
I don't
That's
remember
what I
saying
thought.
drug use. She said she was in a bad place.
Oh, I thought it was addiction.
No, it was gangs.
That's
Gang.
That was a bad place. It was like
whatever. Doesn't matter.
a bad place.
Came back from that. And it's such a good story. She has a great background. And I'm not a Jesus freak by any means, but it's still a great story. And then she's playing an amazing game, great personality, so much fun to watch.
I don't even know if she's a Jesus freak. I think she just, is well.
If you're a youth I feel like a pastor.
I don't know. I geocache regularly with a youth pastor, and he's not like that.
Keyword geocache. All right. But I do want to thank especially our patrons, and most especially a select few patrons. Colleen, why don't you name them for me, please?
Why, thank you so much. I will gladly take the ball from you. Thank you so much to the patrons, especially the patrons that contribute at a certain level, and that would be Eckhart, Rickner, Attack from Tokyo, Maggie the Magnificent, Joanne with the Plan, and Ed the Creepy Man. Thank you guys. We appreciate it. If you'd like to become a patron, you can go to patreon.com/Jay and Jack.
That was pretty fast. Were you getting the wrap up music? They like the Oscars and stuff like that.
Generally, when we do this for the broadcast, I give myself the wrap up music at this point of the show, and that's why
it was just pretty fast. I mean, I don't care. It's just,
usually that's what it is. It's like, oh my god, it's late. We need to wrap this up. Oh, JP is in the chat. Cool. Just turning it on for the document.
JP. Sorry. Oh. Freaking love JP.
Speaking of the broadcasts, if you would like to join us on Zoom on Tuesday night, Tuesday the 26th,
hey,
we are actually having our annual live Halloween show. So come in costume, come with a ghost story or horror story or anything you'd like to tell. Super bonus props points if
I could show my wedding video. That'd be...
Sure, but you could, but it got taped over by a soap opera, so you really can't.
No.
Here's the thing, Jack. You don't know how lucky you are that your wife doesn't have like her own podcast, and then you don't get roped into like showing up to her Zoom things that to dress up in costume.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I am lucky about that.
Come on, Jay, you gotta do it. Everybody else is doing it. You gotta be there to support me.
She was listening to an old Dancing with the Stars while we were driving. She goes,
"Really?
I miss doing that." I go, "I don't miss Dancing with the Stars."
You guys only did it for like 10 minutes a week, so.
No, it's like 30. Well, it's funny. The one she was listening to, I go, this show has been going on for 10 minutes, and we've yet to talk about Dancing with the Stars.
Anyway. I think that's it, right? I think that's it. Are we done?
That's all I got.
Feedback, survivorjjc@gmail.com.
Yeah. And join our Facebook group at facebook.com/group/Jay and Jack group. Even though it may not be called Facebook anymore, because Facebook is the new big tobacco. And on that bombshell, thank you everybody for joining us tonight on Survivor with Jay, Jack, and Colleen. We do this live Wednesday nights at 9:15, unless Jack has to fix up his entire house in one night. And
Subscribe to us live on YouTube.
until next time, hasta luego.